AAPTAS Ayurveda. Reach Ayurveda to each.
CHARAKA for One Earth. First ever national level Ayurveda documentary film contest on behalf of Charaka Jayanti 2023. Organized by Team AAPTAS. Title sponsored by Ashtavaidyan Thai Kattumos Vaidyaratnam Aushadashala Trishur Kerala. AAPTAS Ayurveda is a group of passionate Ayurveda Vaidyas and students constantly working to reach Ayurveda to each. Every year on Charaka Jayanti, we come up with a unique contest to motivate our Ayurveda youth and promote thoughts of Acharya Charaka. This year, we are organizing a national level Ayurveda documentary film contest as Charaka for One Earth, which is unique and first of its kind in the field of Ayurveda.
युगे युगे धर्मपादः क्रमेणानेन हीयते गुणपादश्च भूतानाम् एवं लोकः प्रलीयते. With the passage of each yuga, dharma, the root cause of all the four purusharthas, got reduced up to a quarter. And since then, with the uprising of adharma, thus began all pollution. This seems to be similar to a quotation given in Bhagavad Gita and seems impractical. Truth to be told, this is quoted in the textbook of medicine, Charaka Samhita. Surprised? Then you are into many more such surprises. In a world constantly plagued by violence, epidemics, and calamities, in a time where distance is mended by interconnectedness, thanks to technology, but what technology has failed to watch was already predicted by our Acharya Charaka. As the saying goes, what the eyes fail to see, the mind perceives. Pratyaksham hi alpam, analpam apratyaksham asti. If your conscience compels you to ask such questions, then please keep on watching.
Mass destruction does not need to be spontaneous. It can progress stepwise as well. Vayu, Desha, Jala, Kala, all these factors are responsible for formation of any species. These are the factors responsible for development of fetus also. And these factors affect the Vayu, the main dosha, which is responsible for cell division. If this gets damaged, you can imagine the amount of damage it is going to cause the mankind.
The ill health conditions affecting the male may ultimately impact the reproductive system and present in various conditions such as sexual dysfunctions leading to infertility. It may also contribute towards the fetal anomalies and miscarriage in the female. In present clinical practice, the incidence of such cases are on a rise, and the day may not be far away where the continuation of mankind would be a challenge.
The present day food gets exposed to agriculture poisons like pesticides, fertilizers. It gets exposed to so many chemicals during processing, preservation and harvesting and all. Simultaneously, the prepared foods where additives, coloring agents, so many things are added. So all these enter into our body. Not only that, the environment where we live, whether it is indoor or outdoor, is contaminated. It comes with lots of chemicals. If we consider another important source of living being is water. See, the water, even groundwater and the water that we use is getting contaminated with so many chemicals due to the industrial effluents, due to the agricultural poisons. So by all these, in one or other day, unavoidably, we are getting exposed to the poisons. So generally, Janapadodhwamsaniya means the people who live in same place, who get exposed to same environment, who eat same food, suffering from similar kind of disease. What is happening now? The population with diabetes, the population with hypertension, population with autoimmune diseases is increasing. but they all are living in same environment. They are eating same food. So can we call them as Janapadodhwamsa or general diseases? 100%. We need to call them as Janapadodhwamsa vikaras.
If you look at the present lifestyle, there has been enormous change in our diet, lifestyle, mindset, social interaction, and the way we behave in the society. And this has been a major reason why there has been a tremendous shift from the local to the global scenario. The reason for this are plenty. Maybe the way we are looking at the life, the way we are thinking, the way we are behaving, and very importantly, the impact of the westernization, globalization, and all around the social network and media. This has a great impact on the way we think, behave, and act.
जनपदोध्वंसः अत्र पदद्वयं जनपदम् उध्वंसः इति। अत्र जनपदशब्दस्य अर्थं पश्यामः चेत् जनशब्दः लोकप्रसिद्धः, लोकः मानवः जीवः इति तस्य अनर्थान्तरं। पदशब्दस्य संस्कृते नैके अर्थाः वर्तन्ते, स्थानं, शब्दः, समूहः इत्येवम्। अत्र जनपदशब्देन जनसमूहः इत्यर्थः स्वीकर्तव्यः। एवम् उध्वंसः अत्र न केवलं ध्वंसपदः न उपयुक्तः। किमर्थमिति चेत् केवलं ध्वंसपदस्य नाशः इत्यर्थः, किन्तु तस्य उपसर्गपूर्वक उपयोगेन उध्वंसशब्दस्य अर्थः भवति समूलात् नाशः इति। एवं उध्वंसः इत्यत्र जनसमूहानां समूलनाशः इत्यर्थः भवति जनपद उध्वंसपदस्य।
Vayu, Jala, Desha, Kala. These four factors are called as Janapadodhwamsakara Bhava, which give rise to Janapadodhwamsa. So these four factors in its own way end up in mass destruction of the community. So when Vayu becomes Vikrita, it becomes Atiparusha, Atishita, Atisthimita. So all these give rise to Gati Kundalinam, so which can be correlated with the cyclones or tornado. And this Vikrita Vayu can also be correlated with El Nino effect, which finally give rise in drought and floods. When the Jala becomes Vikrita, so there is improper Sparsha, improper Gandha and improper Rupa of that particular Jala. So water becomes Kleda Yukta. So water as a vehicle for communicable diseases can be correlated with this Vikrita Jala. When the Bhumi becomes Vikrita, so there is excessive weeds, excessive creepers, there is loss of crops, pratana will be more in number, and there will be devalue for dharma, lajja, etc. So there will be no any moral values in that particular community. So there will be lots of creatures, lots of organisms. So we can consider this as reservoir for communicable diseases.
Kala is told as Dushpariharya in Charaka Samhita, which cannot be tackled. And it has been classified into Nityaga and Avastika. Nityaga is not under our control, Avastika which is in our hand. In this world, which is growing at exponential rate, to match the race, one forgets to attend his natural urge like hunger, thirst, sleep or elimination of urine, feces, etc. These are told as cause for all disease in Charaka Samhita and is practiced by all and can act as a potential risk factor.
All these together can be considered as Vikrita, Kala. So even this is giving rise to destruction of crop, even the destruction of health of a particular human being. Finally, we say that Mula Karana is Adharma. So the word Adharma sounds like spiritual, but exactly what is the meaning of Adharma?
Ayurvedacharya Charaka vadati सर्वरोगाणां मूलम् अधर्मः इति, तन्मूलं प्रज्ञापराध इत्येवं। तर्हि अधर्मः धर्मविरोधी। तर्हि को नाम धर्मः इति चेत् धरति धारयति लोकान् ध्रियते अनेन इति, तद्विरोधी भवति अधर्मः। तर्हि अधर्मेण किं भवति इति चेत् महाभारते उच्यते सपत्नान् जयति समूलाद् विनश्यति इति। तर्हि अधर्मेण समूलविनाशः भवति। एवं अधर्मः एव जनपदोध्वंसस्य मूलं कारणं भवति।
Certain other practices such as faulty sexual practices, addiction to adult sites followed by misconduct, exposure to radiations as well as disturbed sleep patterns contribute to adharma, leading to a decline in mankind.
It is rightly said that Nityam Hita Ahara Vihara Sevi Samikshakari Visheshu Asaktaha Dataha, Samaha, Satyaparaha, Kshamavan, Aptopasevi cha, Bhavanti Arogaha. If you look at the three-folded treatments of Daivyapashraya, Yuktivyapashraya and Sattva Chikitsa. Sattva Chikitsa, which is one of the non-pharmacological treatments which aims at the mind, can contribute enormously in the preventive of pandemic related to mental health issues. Now, what is Sattva Chikitsa? Ahitebhyo Arthebhyo Manonigraha. It is abstaining the mind from the unwholesome acts. And if one does this, definitely we can prevent so many types of psychosomatic disorders.
Through all these sources, we are getting exposed to so many poisons. These all are low potent poisons. For that, we need to treat. Okay, so one is prevention. We need to avoid the contamination, where in Charaka Acharya in Vishachikitsa only says that we need to protect and prevent contamination of foods. Okay, simultaneously, if we are unable to protect, then there are three options we can use: Deha Samskara, Desha Samskara and Anna Samskara. These Deha Samskara means we have to use the concept of Hridayavarna, which is explained by Charaka Acharya, using of various medicated gritas. By that we can improve our immunity or we can improve our Oja, and simultaneously they are going to act as Vishagna. Second one is Desha Samskara. Desha Samskara means the environment. We need to change our environment. Like, ancient days, Acharyas have used the flags conducting homas and all, where the flags and all were pasted with the Vishagna Dravyas, and they were tied on tall trees, towers of the temples and also that decontaminate the environment. So we have to use those Vishagna yogas with contemporary methods like blowing and all we can do. The last one is Anna Samskara. How it can be done? We need to educate the farmers about reducing the use of the chemical fertilizers and pesticides, and we need to switch to biopesticides, biofertilizers. We need to stop wasting food, because the increased demand is the need. Because of that only, we are using lots of pesticides and fertilizers. The demand may come down.
The ahar and vihar of a couple trying to conceive plays an important role right from conception up to a healthy pregnancy, up to a delivery of a healthy child.
Implementation of Acharya Rasayana is amongst the best preventive as well as curative measures which help an individual and society at large to practice dharma with respect to physical, psychological, social and behavioral and spiritual well-being.
It is our duty to maintain health. Our destiny is already written by the Almighty. What we have in our hand is to serve the purpose for what we have taken birth, that is to do our karma. The ultimate aim of the entire human existence is to attain salvation, that is moksha prapti, which can only be achieved when one chooses the path of dharma. By doing just a small act of service on daily basis can definitely bring a change. All we require is compassion towards living beings, practice of satya, ahimsa, sadrutta, revisiting our religious scriptures from time to time are just a few examples.
So let's all come together to help each other, to see that we can take care of ourselves, our family, our country, our society and the entire globe. Let's reach Ayurveda to each.
सर्वमन्यत् परित्यज्य शरीरमनुपालयेत् तद्भावो हि भावानां सर्वाभावः शरीरिणाम्. Our body, which is our prime entity, should be protected at all cost, keeping everything else aside. In its absence, the other affairs are worthless. It is truly said that what lays in our hands determines what lays in our fate. Let's assume that all we have is one glass, which is filled with dirt, impurities, stones, and pebbles up to the brim, leaving no space for pure and potable water. In order to make room for the water, we'll have to gradually empty the glass. Just like in order to inculcate healthy practices, we have no choice but to slowly and gradually unlearn the unwholesome practices, thoughts, habits, and finally, deeds. These trees of wisdom, ethics, and traditions were planted ages ago by our ancestors, providing us with innumerable qualities and values. All we have to do is to keep them alive.
subscribe and share this video to all and join hands with us to reach Ayurveda to each.